I'm Cantor Lizzie Shamash, and so happy you're here. Shana Tova, a sweet and good year to you, and Gmar Chatima Tova. We want to look toward Yom Kippur and finish well, literally with a good seal, a Chatima Tova. Um, what is the Zoom link? I don't understand the question. Diane, I hope that Rachel can help you out. So that you can connect, whether it's here or it's on YouTube. Um, our props for today, my friends, are a strap if you have one, a blanket if you have, and if you'd like for support in standing poses, blocks or chair or the wall, then please use. I want to remind you, as always, really to take good care of yourselves. I'm just the tour guide. So my words are suggestions. Please do what works for you. You can come out of a pose early. You can stay longer to your heart's delight in a pose. You can do something completely different if something I'm instructing is contraindicated for you. And that's really the highest yoga. I mean that. So please take care of yourselves. As you gather your props, just a couple of announcements from the Institute, and then we shall begin. Our text study will begin in a couple of weeks, October 12th. We have two streams of text studies, one for those who are a little more beginner to studying text in Chavruta, and another track for mostly intended for Jewish professionals. So please check that out. The link is there. They're both great tracks. I always enjoy them both. Please take a look, take advantage. And also Four Worlds of Kabbalah, beautiful, mindful-based approach to looking at the four worlds in Kabbalah with our very wonderful Rabbi Sam Feinsmith. If you have not yet encountered Sam, he's such an extraordinary teacher, so please check that out as well. Lastly, if you are looking for some time to nourish yourself and restore yourself before the end of the secular year, I will be leading a retreat in person only at Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health. It's in Western Massachusetts in the beautiful Berkshire Hills. So please check that out. It's December 4 through 7, Thursday evening through Sunday. Amazing pop-up Shabbat community, lots of movement and prayer and text study and connection. So it's just a great time. It's our third annual retreat. I'd love to meet you in person. So check that out if it sounds of interest. Okay, friends. Let's get started. Find a comfortable seat in a chair, on the floor, on the blanket, however you like. On the sofa. Find grounding for your sit bones or your feet as you need. And feel the spine lifting tall, rising out of the pelvis, from the tailbone to the crown. Feel the width of your collarbones. And as your ribcage expands and contracts, see if you can also feel lift and width right under your armpits, right top of the ribcage. Feel free to take your hands anywhere that help you to feel your breath. It might be the low belly, the upper chest, some placement on the rib cage or on your back. As you inhale, feel the belly expand and feel the rib cage expand three-dimensionally, side to side and front to back. And as you exhale, feel rib cage and abdomen move back towards the center line, towards your spine. Filling and emptying. Expansion and contraction. As you continue to anchor your attention in your breath, perhaps the sensation and observation is able to become a little more nuanced. See if you can locate the very end of the exhale where the air goes out, and there's just a pause before the inhale begins again. That moment at the end of the exhale, total release, total surrender. And then to your delight, involuntarily, the belly fills, the lungs fill, the air comes in. As you pay attention to that space where nothing is happening, no exhale, no inhale, see if you can soften into that dissolution, that dissolving. Every exhale, a small death. Potentially, if you can bear to think of it that way, a rehearsal for the final exhale. Filling, emptying, pause, filling. Follow that for a couple more breaths. And then as you're ready, you can open the eyes if they were closed. Let's bring your attention back to the room in a broader awareness. And take a couple of shoulder rolls. My friends, it's the 7th of Tishrei. On the 10th of Tishrei, we begin Yom Kippur. That's Wednesday night and Thursday of this week. Rabbi Alan Lew, we've been studying his book through the Shofar Project. He basically says that 364 days of the year, we live in a folly, we live in an illusion of life. And one day a year, Yom Kippur, we touch the idea of understanding death, understanding the fact that this soul, this neshama, and this breath, this neshima, so closely linked in the Hebrew language, they're not ours. They don't belong to us, and that this life is not permanent, it's on loan. Alan Lew says, there's a short line we say before Kol Nidre that permits us to pray with the Avaryanim, usually translated as sinners. And he says, no, Avaryanim comes from the verb la'avor, to pass through. We are all Avaryanim, we're all passing through this life. I want to share with you a meme that my husband sent to me yesterday. He's always really spot on. I don't know the origin, it didn't have any attribution, but the meme said the following: working at a hospice, I asked a woman, what's it like to know that you're dying? She responded, what's it like pretending that you aren't? And so that's the essence really of Yom Kippur. I want to kind of highlight our awareness of this impermanence of body and breath in our practice today. That's not hard because it's true every day on the mat and every moment, that we're just different from day to day, and we can feel that there's no solidity to all of this. It's constantly changing. I want to share with you a couple of pieces of the liturgy. The liturgy of the High Holidays is so spectacular, really spectacular. One is Adam Yesodo Le'afar Vesofo Le'afar. Comes right before the Kedusha. Each person's origin is dust, and each person will return to the earth having spent life seeking sustenance. Scripture compares human beings, and these are just small quotes from various psalms. Scripture compares human beings to a broken shard, a withering grass, a shriveled flower, a passing shadow, a fading cloud, a fleeting breeze, scattered dust, a vanishing dream. V'chachalom ya'uf, like a dream, it flies, it goes. And you are the sovereign living God, ever present. Your years never end. Your time has no measure. Now, I want to share with you an interpretation, I think it's of this passage by Marcia Falk, who's such an incredible scholar and poet. What do you have? Not this earth, not even dust, not yours. Caw invisible crows like doors swinging shut. Not your memories rising and burning in the air like leaf dew in the sun. Not your thoughts poking in and darting out like hummingbirds in the blossoms. Only this bit of time, like clouds unforming, even as you point to it, gone. Nothing. You began as nothing, and you will end as nothing. And in between, everything and nothing. In between joy and sorrow, beauty and decay, everything yours to partake of, yours to bear, yours to see, to know, to give birth to, and to let go. None of it yours to have. Not even you are yours to have. You belong to a wholeness so great you cannot even conceive of it. No, it is not a belonging. Nothing owns you. You're simply part of it. You came out of it and you will return to it. You do not ever leave it. You are part of it forever. And this is your moment to be alive. Right? So our purpose in knowing and touching in and knowing our impermanence, knowing that we are going to die at some point, is to cherish life, to cherish, as Mary Oliver says, this one wild and precious life. So if you heard the music before we began class today, that was from Kihine Kachomer, which we'll see in the Kol Nidre service. Kihine Kachomer, we're like material, we're like stuff in the hands of various artisans, like clay in the hands of a potter, stone in the hands of a mason, iron in the hands of a blacksmith, as the helm in the hands of a sailor, cloth in the hands of the draper, glass in the hands of a glassblower. Labrit habet, remember the covenant with us. And so we can feel ourselves just like material in the hand of greater awareness and divine spirit, however you use terminology, but it's not ours, So let's stand. We're just going to take a full body sort of experience today, kind of work through our whole body with a light touch and an understanding, like we looked at of that exhale that has a pause before we inhale again, that there can be some kind of releasing, some kind of letting go, some kind of less seriousness, that this really belongs to us and is so solid. Take mountain pose, either the feet together or hip width apart, or wider if you need a little more stability. Lift and separate your toes. Ground the four corners of the feet, inner and outer heel, mound of the big toe over to the mound of the little toe. And find a stance that's stable, but also internally resilient. We're never just still, are we? See if you can find some ease through the joints. And soften in the throat and the jaw and behind the eyes. And use your breath energy to begin to focus more deeply inward to layers of breath and spirit. If you have it, let's take hold of strap or band. I like, by the way, sometimes using the PT bands because they give you a little bit of resistance, which helps to kind of build strength a little bit as we go too. So we're going to inhale, take the strap up. Take the hands as wide as you need so that the shoulders can have ease. And then we're going to exhale behind us. And then we're going to inhale up and come over and exhale down. So take this in time with your own breath. Every movement in the upward direction is an inhale. And as we go down, we exhale. Opening the front of the chest, bringing us awareness of the shoulder girdle. And you might notice that as you raise the arms and simultaneously inhale, the rib cage has extra room. So you can really feel that expansion. And then next time you come on down, you can stop. Of course, if you're really enjoying yourself, take a few more rounds of that. And put the strap aside. We're going to take a forward bend, feet together, hands to the hips. And so if you want blocks or if you want a chair in front of you, use a piece of furniture. If the hamstrings are tight, by all means, please work with a prop. It's always nice. Ground the feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. And then exhale, fold forward at the crease of the hips. Coming forward, hands can be to the thighs or the shins or your prop support. Lengthen the spine. Draw the thighs back in space. Lift the kneecaps up to engage the quads. And then if you'd like, you can take a full fold forward. And drop the head. So just see where it's working for you. The main thing is we want to open up the line of the hamstrings. Be sure not to hyperextend the knees. It's good to keep kind of a slight bend on the knees. And then super importantly, we want to make sure that the sitting bones are not behind the heels, that we're stacked here. Otherwise, it can put undue pressure on tendons and ligaments. And when you're ready, hands to hips. Inhale, lift up, gaze up. Squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. And then exhale, come back to neutral. Notice how you feel. We'll take a few of our standing poses, starting with warrior two. Jump or step the feet wide. Turn the left toes in and the right toes out. You can have the hands at the hips, or you can inhale the arms to shoulder height, palms face down, fingers spread. Exhale, bend that front knee, back leg is straight, and find your warrior two. Couple of breaths here. You can hold the pose, or if you prefer, just a little bit of coming in and out. That's a beautiful way to practice also. So no solid form, right? Imagine that you are clay in the hands of a potter. How does that change your awareness and understanding of where you are in space at this moment? When you're ready, release. Turn the feet. Inhale the arms. Let the bottom tips of the shoulder blades come down the back, and exhale and bend that left knee. And again, you can be a little more dynamic, moving in and out, or you can come in and stay. But either way, it's never static, kind of observing impermanence really within each pose, as you feel sensation shift, as you feel breath move. The end of the pose is not like the beginning of the pose, is it? And when you're ready, straighten the leg, come on back. Hop or heel toe, step the feet together. And we'll take tree pose. If you'd like support, you can hold a chair, you can hold the wall, face the wall, or you can have your back to the wall. Lots of different ways to take support. Let's shift over to the left leg as your standing leg. Again, lift the kneecap, engage the quads, turn out from the right hip, and place the foot. It can be just a kickstand here. You can be on the floor. You could be at the ankle or the calf, never at the knee. You don't want to press against the knee. The joint doesn't move that way. Or you can come all the way up, if that's appropriate for you, towards the groin. So foot pressing into the leg pressing into the foot. Continue to be stable on that standing leg. Same four corners of the feet. And then, of course, the hands can take any place that you want them to be. Could be palms together. It could be goalpost. Could be arms up and wide. Big branches out here. Could be the arms above the head. So you decide. Find a soft gazing point. Let that help you with balance. If you fall out, no problem. Just learning here. Just come right on back in. And when you're ready, release. And we'll take the other side. Shifting over, finding the stability of that standing leg. Turning out from the hip, the left leg, and then place the foot. No pain or strain in this knee or anywhere, right? So always make appropriate adjustments so that the form feels comfortable to you. Find a soft gazing point. Like glass in the hands of a glass blower. You can choose the medium, the artisanship that speaks to you. And when you're ready, release. Let's take the legs wide again. Turn the left toes in and the right toes out. And we're going to look at triangle pose. You might want to keep the hands on your hips once again, or you might want to inhale the arms up. Find this 5-pointed star, the legs, the arms, the head. They're your 5 points, extending the energy in all directions. Inhale and fill the form that you are. Exhale, both legs are straight. The hips are shifting over towards the left as the torso moves to the right, and then take your hand down. Bottom hand, top arm, maybe it comes up, maybe it's at the hip. The gaze can be forward or up toward the ceiling, you decide. Find your way into this shape. And then as you're ready, press into the feet, inhale, and let that top arm help bring you up. Turn the feet. Inhale the arms. Exhale, shift the hips and the torso. And then decide where you want to be with your arms. Right, so you certainly don't have to mimic my body. You might be up here, you might have a chair or something, you might just be working with the legs. Work where you are. Couple of breaths. Press into the feet and inhale to come up. Good. Turn both toes forward and maybe the toes even a little bit in, and maybe the legs come a little bit wider. We'll take a wide leg forward bend. Now this might be plenty for you, just standing and grounding the legs might be plenty through the ankles, through the inner legs, so you could just stay here for the whole pose, which is great, right? Or if you want to fold forward, hands to the hips, inhale, draw the elbows back toward each other, and then exhale, fold forward at the hip creases, and the hands come down to a chair, to a block, to the floor. Come into this long spine. Once again, you don't want to sit back too far into your heels. We want the weight to be even over the feet, like iron in the hands of a blacksmith. And then if you'd like, you can bring the head down to a fuller fold. Just be attentive to the constantly changing sensations. And when you are ready, inhale, come on up. Exhale, back home. Step or hop the feet back together. Let's come to sit. I'm going to take a seated twist. So you might want to prop up with the blanket. I'm going to prop up with my mat. So you have a little lift for the hips. So a few possibilities here for a seated twist. You can have the left leg long and bend the right knee parallel here, or you can cross the right foot over the left, or you can tuck the bottom foot under, right? So however you want to be, you can choose. Take the hands and clasp them at the right shin. Ground the sitting bones and lift the crown of the head. Take your right arm out in front of you, shoulder height, palm facing down. Take your gaze to the fingertips. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to follow the arm like across the horizon here. Take the gaze with the fingertips as far as you can go without, really super efforting. And then just take the hand down behind you. Make the adjustment you need with the left arm. Maybe it's hand to the knee, hugging with the elbow, bringing the elbow to the other side of the knee, and start to explore the pose. Just going to the edge that you feel good with in this moment. Being with what is. Inhaling and lengthening the spine. Exhaling and working the twist. And then release and take a counter twist, opening to the left. And then come back to center, and we will change sides. So again, you can have the legs in a parallel track here, the right leg extended, or you can cross over, or you can tuck under. See what works for you. Take your hands and clasp them to the left shin, lift up tall. Bring that left arm in front of you, palm facing down, fingertips extended. Inhale tall, and then exhale, follow those fingertips across the horizon as you twist to the left. Then place the hand down. Place your right hand as you need, right arm. And work the twist on the second side. As you're ready, release and open the twist to the right. Come back to center. And we will lie down on the back. Bring the feet in close toward the sitting bones. The knees are bent. We're going to take bridge pose. Let's start by extending the arms, holding opposite side of the opposite corners, edges of the mat. Can tuck your shoulder blades under you a little bit so that the chest broadens and opens. Let's take a moment to just lengthen the back of the neck by doing the following. Inhale through the nose, and then as you exhale, press the back of the head to the mat. So just feel that the chin kind of moves back a little bit, and then release. Inhale, exhale, press the back of the head to the mat. Inhale, release. And one more time, exhale, press the back of the head to the mat. Some of you might know this move from physical therapy. It's a good one for any cervical spine issues. And then release. Inhale, let the belly fill. And exhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, lengthen the tailbone as you go. You can roll your shoulders under you a little. And just take a bridge at whatever height you want. It can be small, it can be larger. Knees are parallel. You can even look up if you'd like to see that they're not splaying out. Knees should be in line with the hip points. And then as you're ready, exhale and lower vertebra by vertebra. We'll take it one more time. Inhale. And exhale, press the hips up, open the chest. Good, you can keep the hands here by the edges of the mat, or you can continue to wriggle your shoulders under you, clasp hands with yourself and extend the knuckles towards the heels. The back of the head touches the floor, and so does the back of the shoulders, but not the neck. The neck retains its curve. And then when you're ready, widen the shoulders and lower down vertebra by vertebra. Good. From here, give the knees a little hug. Anything you'd like. It could be side to side rocking. You might want to take happy baby. Separating the knees, taking hold of the outer edges of the feet. If the hands don't reach the feet, you can do that with your strap. Cross the feet. I'll show you what that looks like. Like so. Beautiful adjustment for happy baby. Just take a couple of movements that feel comfortable and then settle yourself into quiet. So this final relaxation pose, we call it, the traditional, in quotes, way to take it is with the legs long and wide as I'm doing, kind of opposite edges of the mat, the palms facing up, and the arms about 6 to 8 inches from the body, tucking the shoulder blades under. That's sort of the traditional yogic way. It's not comfortable for everybody. You might prefer knees bent, elbows bent, what we call constructive rest. You might prefer fetal position, or you might prefer prone, face down towards the mat. So choose a way to rest. You might choose with your lower legs up on a chair or sofa. We tend to call this pose relaxation, final relaxation. In truth, the Sanskrit name is Shavasana, and it means corpse pose. Mr. Iyengar, who's the person most responsible for bringing yoga to the West, kind of the best known name, Mr. Iyengar said, Shavasana is the hardest of all poses. That in fact, it is a rehearsal for our death. The pose is all about stillness and surrender. And in fact, it's very hard for us to be still, to surrender, to let go. So for the next few minutes, let's go back to that pause at the end of the exhale. And just feel that moment of full surrender of the breath that occurs before your breath fills again. And we'll take about 3 minutes of silence for this. letting go, letting go, letting go. Nothing. You began as nothing, and you will end as nothing. And in between everything and nothing, in between joy and sorrow, beauty and decay, everything yours to partake of, yours to bear, yours to see, to know, to give birth to, and to let go. None of it yours to have. Begin to deepen the breath, wiggling fingers and toes, beginning to come back to the surface. Give your body a yawn, sigh, stretch, opening. And take your time to come up to a comfortable seated position. We take this transition to our day slowly in stages. Finding an upright position. We never hold on to the benefits of our practice just solely for our own benefit, but we send our work, our efforts out for the benefit of all beings. You might bring to mind anyone who needs healing. Refuat HaNefesh or Refuat HaGuf, healing of body or soul. Wish for them healing. Might include yourself or family, community members. We send our hearts to anyone all over this planet, all who are suffering. And specifically, as we do in our liturgy every Monday and Thursday, praying for those who are held captive. We pray for the hostages, that their return might be imminent, that a deal might be reached soon. And Rachel will share the text on the screen. Just going to read it. Feel free to read with me, follow along, or just listen. Achenu ve'achyoteinu, kol Beit Yisrael, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה, המקום ירחם עליהם ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה, ומאפלה לאורה ומשיבוד לגאולה, השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. May they be returned safely. May suffering in Gaza end. And may we see an end to all suffering for all sentient beings and for this planet. Taking a breath or two to seal your practice. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you all for practicing. In a moment, we'll put up the link to the Chava Alberstein Ki Hine Kachomer Hope you'll listen this week. It's so beautiful. I'll share with you the Marcia Falk poems as well. And just a reminder, if any of our offerings, if today or any of our offerings have served you, please feel free to make a donation to IJS in any amount. This helps us continue running our free programs. It's always helpful. And please check out Torah Study, Kabbalah Four Worlds with Sam, and my retreat at Kripalu. Hope you can join me. We'll be back next week. We'll discuss Sukkot